No Mo today.
No Mo?
Curtis.
No. Oh,
Give this man a schedule. That really wasn't rock solid.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know,
not to stir anything up.
I'm just trying to stir it up, Neil.
You're going to call your ass in right now and put your ass on the carpet.
Oh.
Hopefully it'll be a flying carpet. See ya.
Take it easy.
Doi.
10:02 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday, August the 11th. Somebody better get the big O, that schedule. Man, he's in La La Land. Mow my ass. Did you hear what he said? I noticed that Geldy. I heard the beginning. When was it? On Tuesday? I give up. Huh?
I give up.
I hadn't shut the audio down yet because I was doing something on the internet, and there was Geldy, and he said he was filling in. He didn't say who he was filling in for, but his deal is now when he does to the foe, he just filling in. Not for Mo or anybody with a name, just filling in. You know what I mean?
To fill in.
To fill in. Well, it's a Jew thing, you know. What'd you think? Here's George's poll from yesterday. What would you rather not have? 727 votes. Genital herpes, 184. Probably not a good idea.
Nah.
Incontinence, 87.
By the way,
that
one
was
late.
offended.
That might have won if we hadn't put it on right before the end of the show.
Chirpies of the eye, 87. Genital warts, 71. So that when people meet you, they don't ask you that age-old question, warts
What's
new.
that?
Hemorrhoids, 67. Oh, you haven't lived till you've had some really bleeding, oozing roids.
I can't wait.
Oral herpes, 52. Arthritis, 50. Shingles, 43. Constipation, 27. Tonight, it's a good thing we're reading these poll results today because I think starting next Monday, most of these words we can't even say on the air anymore. Constipation, 27. Tinnitus, 20. Psoriasis, 20. Psoris. My period, 16. And 10 of those were guys. And seborrhea, 3. Well, isn't that a lovely list of beautiful things, huh?
Yeah.
More bad news from Iraq. We don't want to,
why don't you read some good news from Iraq for
4
once?
U.S. soldiers were killed, 6 others wounded when insurgents attacked their patrol in the northern Iraqi city, while a car bomb targeted U.S.-Iraqi patrol in Baghdad, killing 7 people, officials be saying. Well, how do you like that? The body count, the body bags just continue. And where was it that you said you saw that story about 9,000 soldiers have died, but they're not counting the
Ted
ones...
Rall.
Ted Rall wrote the story about it. Actually, the death count is closer to 9,000 than 2,000, but they're not counting the ones who die after they're sent to Germany with their massive injuries, with their legs and heads and arms blown off, all of these things. So, again, your government is lying to you like crazy. We got a bloodbath over there. And this new tape that just came out from this Australian Al-Qaeda lunatic, or at least from somebody in Australia, and now they're saying, oh, well, Al-Qaeda is reorganizing, and they're going to do it again, and they're going to do this. And in the meantime, here we've been fighting this mindless war now in a place that had nothing to do with 9/11 or any of the other stuff. What did Iraq have anything to do with the bombing of the Bob Cole or any of this? I don't think so.
No, planned it. He financed it.
I see.
They were trained right there in his house.
I thought it was a bunch of Saudis involved in this, not Iraq. But nevertheless, don't confuse anybody with the facts. And thanks again, Mr. President, for those so low gas prices. How low can you go? What a bargain, man. You know, I'm a little PO'd because I worked feverishly. I spent at least 5 minutes making up my list. Now I find out Hank's on vacation for 2 weeks, and so what's the date on that? Let's see, 15th, 22nd. It won't be till August 23rd when he and I are going to do our cross-dress crossover thing again. Well, I'll give him plenty of spare time, I guess, to make his list, because I got 34 horse tracks that I've been to in my life, including many that are no longer even in existence, like Narragansett Park and Lincoln Downs, and I'm not sure about Suffolk Downs, if they ever reopened that in Boston. They used to have harness racing at Suffolk Downs. So that's some of the other ones that are no DRC, Wolverine in Detroit. That's not there no more. Roosevelt Raceway. Boy, was that a great place. But anyway, I'll save that for when he comes back. Top that if you can, Fatso. 34 horse tracks. What a degenerate. What a pervert. And, of course, you are.
Absolutely correct,
And I'm proud of it. Somebody calls you a degenerate or a pervert, say thank you. Guess who died? Barbara Bel Geddes.
Who?
Get out of here. You ever watch Dallas?
Yeah.
She was Miss Ellie.
Yeah.
She was a good actress. She was very nice. One of those people you had to like, you know, as opposed to one of those people you. Oh, and why did Larry King have Kirk Douglas on last night? Oh, Jesus! Did you see any of that?
No, I don't watch Larry King.
I was channel surfing, and I also want to mention that what's her name, Rita Crosby on MSNBC. Talk about putting the final stake into your own coffin. These are crazy people. See, the thing with the talking head networks, MSNBC, CNN, and Fox, is they keep hiring away from each other, and also CNBC. You can throw them in there, too, the financial, like the Bond bitch from CNBC. She went up on CNN, whatever her name was. Catherine Hayes. But Rita Crosby, I mean, this is the worst needle-nosed looking bitch with a real a voice that just has... She makes Rich Waltz sound like Walter Cronkite. That's how weak her voice is. Well, we certainly hope that your husband was... All this other crap. Just awful. So MSNBC, you know, if you're wondering why nobody is watching you, probably because you suck. That's probably the reason for it. You know, they put Phil Donahue on here, and nobody watched him, so they think that they're putting on Tucker Carlson and Rita Crosby, that somebody's going to watch that crap. Just give it up already, okay? Just hock the peacock. Anyway, Barbara Bel Geddes, the winsome actress who rose to stage in movie stardom but reached her greatest fame as Miss Ellie Ewing. In the long-running TV series Dallas died, she was 82. By South Florida standards, that's not like very old, is it? 82.
Like teenage.
The San Francisco Chronicle said she died Monday of lung cancer. Boy, there's a lot of that going around now.
Sure enough.
You better, all them faggots are dangerous for you. Died of lung cancer at her home in Northeast Harbor, Maine. Bel Geddes, daughter of renowned industrial designer Norman Bel Geddes, was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for the 1948 drama I Remember Mama. I bet you Boca Brian remembers the TV show I Remember Mama. I remember Mama. And was the original Maggie the Cat on Broadway and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Dallas came late in her career. She had retired to take care of her husband, Windsor Lewis, after he fell ill with cancer in 66. He died in 72. Her earnings depleted by his long illness. She found work scarce for a middle-aged actress. Said she was flat broke in 78 when she accepted the role as matriarch of a rambunctious Texas oil family. Though castigated by critics, Dallas hurtled to the top of the audience ratings and spawned copycat shows like Falcon Crest. What were some of the other ones?
Knots Landing, of course.
Knots Landing was a rip-off of Dallas?
I don't know. I thought they were all really similar.
Whatever happened to old Pat Peterson? Hey, Ooh. Pat. Bel Geddes won an Emmy in 1980 as Best Lead Actress in a Drama Series. Remains the only nighttime soap star to be so honored. How do you like that? Bel Geddes called Dallas real fun, but it was also marked by tragedy. Jim Davis, who played Miss Ellie's husband, Jock Ewing, died. It was like losing her own husband again, said Dallas producer Leonard Katzman. In March 84, Bel Geddes was stricken with a major heart attack. Miss Ellie was played by Donna Reed for 6 months. Then Bel Geddes returned to Dallas, remaining until 1990, a year before CBS canceled the show. Let's see. Now, does it say anything in here about her lung cancer? Doesn't say anything about that. But I'm just wondering if she was a heavy smoker. Because Chris Reeves' wife, who's got lung cancer now, she never smoked once.
No.
Not once. And I still think it was Peter Jennings probably blowing smoke in her face.
Oh, in her face?
Right. I think it was, or wherever, around her, near her. I think that's what it was. So Barbara Bel Geddes died. That's too bad. A lot of people dying these days. It's going around bad. So you better enjoy your life while you can, okay? Don't sit around making plans. Just do it. Just do your thing. Now, the reason I'm taking my poll today, and I realize you've taken a very similar one, not that long ago, but too freaking bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Who cares?
I was inspired because I actually had another poll I was going to do, but this story just... a typical early morning trip to the post office in Dothan, Alabama, with a banjo on her knee, turned into a frightening experience for a Dothan ENT employee when she found a live corn snake hiding under the mail. What's a corn snake?
Oh, it's like this. It's a common snake. Ain't no big thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ain't no thing?
They have them all over the place down here.
I never heard of that.
Sure.
The non-poisonous snake, measuring between 2 and 3 feet long, slithered into the business post office box that Jean White regularly checks, sending her screaming hysterically for help. I reached in there, that's what I was waiting for. Reached in there and got some mail. When I reached back in, I saw it under my mail. I saw its tongue, White said. I screamed and hollered some more, then started hollering, "Snake! Snake!" Got a great line for that, but I guarantee you that Joyce would have a nervous breakdown. Not to mention Penny Nance. Penny Nance would drop a load in her pants if she had the chance. She said it took a few minutes for employees to figure out who to remove the snake from the post office box. After removing the snake, employees called Dothan Animal Control, which disposed of it. I wonder what they done with it. How do you dispose of a corn snake?
You just heave it.
You give it a big heave-ho?
Throw it into the bushes.
In my 33 years working with the Postal Service, I thought I'd seen just about everything, but I'd never seen or heard anything like this happening before. Postal employee Steve Simmons said. He said he didn't know how the snake got into the post office box, but speculated it came from outside, seeking a warm, dry place. Oh, warm, dry place?
Rectum.
He said he does not believe it was a prank. Well, thank goodness for that. That would be bad. So here's the poll today. What are you most afraid of? I got some good choices on there for you.
Yeah.
Religious fanatics, 59. That was my vote. They are the scourge of the human race. We got 195 votes already. Religious fanatics got 59. You see a religious nut, run. Run for your life, screaming. Crazy person.
Well, I was going to say it's a little redundant because you got crazy people on there, too.
No, but there's other kinds of crazy people.
You're right.
Like the crazy people that have to do with this show. They're not religious fanatics, any of them, but they're crazy people, see?
Yeah, I know.
George W. Bush, 58. Black folks, 16. Oh, wait till we get to that story about, guess what county is the fastest-growing black population in America?
Dade? Proud? Oh.
Black folks, 16. They are scared, a lot of these white folks. Snakes, 13. Especially the old corn snake. Republicans, 8. Pit bulls, 7. Rats, 7. Rats are nasty. When I lived in Boston, I've told you those stories about the rats.
Yeah,
we used to take a baseball bat and hit the garbage can, and they would scream like a cat. Like, oh, nasty.
Nice.
Big old rats. I'm fearless, 6. Right, we believe you. Fearless Fosdick. Lightning and thunder, 6. Crazy people, 6. Hurricanes, 4. Especially the ones that get into big trouble. Them hurricanes, man, they got more problems. Don't they, Josh?
Yeah, you know.
Those U of M hurricanes. Oh, and what about those Seminoles and that nickname? Anyway, we're not discussing that. Water, 2. Flying, 2. Bats, 1. And Greg Reed, none. Nobody fears Greg because everybody's onto him. Even the audience is onto him, right?
Yeah.
So, nobody fears you. 10:13 at 560 WQAM for...
Oh, God.
Dan Marino.
What is it?
Dan Marino. Dan Marino, both them sport holes today celebrate.
Your insertion into the sport hole of fame.
Number 13 was a fine thing for winning a fine souvenir.
Stench of cow manure covered over his performance since no one else showed up to play.
You were even given a house for free. And made it pretty with living. Products to endorse HBO, of course. And the price you care of chocolates. There's no contract to hold us back. After thumping the Mad Dog and Mo, 'cause our bench could win a game against Harry Shiro.
Heard a lot of bad things about that Jimmy Cefalo's broadcast on Monday night. But then again, it was their first... it could get a lot worse. 10:18 at 560 WQAM. Police seized 2 ounces of marijuana at the home of Anthony Diotaudo. Am I pronouncing that right? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
After shooting him 10 times, according to information on the drug raid released Tuesday. Did you talk about this yesterday?
Yes, I did a little bit.
And what did you say?
I said it sucked.
Oh. I think I could probably put it a little bit more diplomatically.
Probably.
Being a little more diplomatic than you sometimes are, by saying, if I can find it. I don't think I can find it. Oh, here it is.
That's the American way.
Yeah. That's what America's all about now, man. The weed police. Also Tuesday, while many friends and relatives of the 23-year-old bartender and student mourned him at a Davie funeral home, others appeared at Sunrise City Commission meeting to demand an explanation for the fatal raid. Do 2 ounces of marijuana constitute a death warrant? Asked Sunrise resident William DeLarme, a friend of Anthony's.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to pronounce that. The guy's dead now, and it's a horrible story. And I don't want to mispronounce his name, okay? Oh, spiders. Let's put that on there, too. A lot of people are terrified. Oh, thanks a lot, Adam. Okay, great job, man. That sales department is really on top of it. They are foaming at the mouth, man. Yeah, they're really, you're lost, Adam. Okay, getting back to this story, and we'll just call him Anthony. Earlier, police officials released a summary of the information they used to obtain the search warrant, listed what was seized from the house, and detailed what police say happened between Anthony and SWAT officers Friday morning. Neighbors and family dispute those details. And I have a lengthy fax here from a friend, Leah, a friend of Anthony, which we'll get to in a minute. Anthony, 23, was killed hours after he got home from work by a SWAT team looking for drugs. Friends and family say Anthony worked 2 jobs, went to church regular, and was dedicated to giving himself and his mother, Marlene Whittier, a better life. Lieutenant Robert Voss, spokesman for the Sunrise Police Department, gave this account of the raid. This account. The SWAT team knocked on the door and announced their presence before smashing in his door at about 6:15 a.m. They found Anthony in his living room, ordered him to freeze and get on the ground. This sounds like the pot police to me. Doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
Instead, Voss said Anthony fled to his bedroom and armed himself with a loaded handgun. Yeah. Voss said it's unclear whether Anthony pointed the gun at officers. Officers Sean Visners and Andre Bruna shot Anthony dead. They shot him 10 times, leaving wounds to his head, chest, torso, and limbs, according to Broad Medical Examiner Joshua Perper. In addition to the marijuana, Voss said officers seized plastic bags and weight scales from Anthony's home. Possession of 2 ounces of marijuana is a felony according to state statutes. That's a whole lot, 2 ounces, you know. Not. The officer's personnel records were not available Tuesday, but Visners has been with Sunrise since '97 and on the SWAT team since '99. He was Officer of the Month from May 2000. Brune has been with the department since '99 on the SWAT team since 2001. Why do they have to send a SWAT team in for 2 ounces of pot?
They have it. Well, you know how dangerous those weed smokers are.
Oh, God.
They might be awake.
Voss said both officers have no history of disciplinary problems, and neither has been involved in any previous shootings. They're on paid leave pending an investigation. This kind of reminds me of that thing that happened in London, where that guy was with a backpack. Oh, God, he's dangerous. He's got a backpack. Just blowing people away, man. Just for the hell of it. Neighbors who said they were up at 6:15 in the morning when the raid occurred said they heard the crash of the front door being smashed, but no yelling announcing the presence of police. Rudy Strauss, Anthony's next-door neighbor, came to his window and his wife noticed the SWAT team descend on the house in the sleepy Sunrise Golf Village. No words were exchanged outside Anthony's home, he said. I heard this loud bang and I saw a flash, Strauss said. I never heard them say, police. If somebody were pounding on the door, I would definitely hear that, or if they yelled, police, police, or like your crazy friend would say, police. Ron, Prozac Ron, police. The police department also gave a brief description of the information that led to the search warrant. Voss said that the department had the house under surveillance and made at least one controlled drug purchase there. Voss did not have more details about the search warrant. The police version did little to allay anger at the department's handling of the raid. Nothing adds up, Brian Kickbush, Whittier's boyfriend, said during the visitation at Fred Hunter Funeral Home. If they announce themselves, I guess all the neighbors must be liars. At the Sunrise meeting, 15 people stood, many wearing black armbands. Maybe they just went, place, and then they kicked the door down. Does that sound possible?
Yeah.
At the Sunrise meeting, 15 people stood, many wearing black armbands adorned with a golden heart, as DeLarme told the 5-member commission about how Anthony was planning his first real vacation. The trip would have included a visit to his 91-year-old grandmother. Now she has to come to Florida to bury her 23-year-old grandson, DeLarme said, as family members and friends wept behind him. Saying the shooting made him ashamed to be a Sunrise resident, DeLarme said the officers had too much aggression and too little judgment, using a search warrant and Anthony's weapon permit to create an encounter far too likely to have the tragic outcome that it did. Mayor Steve Fearon declined to address the allegations directly, saying the incident is yet to be fully investigated. The response was not what Anthony's family had hoped to hear. We didn't get what we expected, said Sarah Spivey, a cousin of Anthony who came to Florida from Washington State after the shooting. We wanted our side of the story to be heard. Anthony was a good person. He's being portrayed as a criminal. Voss said that people should be patient as the police department and the Broward State Attorney's Office. Oh, yeah, just relax, okay? Just calm down. We'll investigate, and we'll make up a bunch of stuff. The department grieves for the family. We grieve for our officers, too. Taking a human life isn't easy to do, Voss said. It'll be investigated 10 times. How do you
Very
like that?
easy.
Just to make sure. You pot-smoking lunatic. What in God's name is America all about, huh? Life is cheap in America. What have I always told you? In a country where life is cheap, you can never call yourself a great country. No mo. No mo. Now, here's a fax we got this morning from Leah.
Yesterday.
Well, how come did you talk about this?
Yes.
Well, then how come you're sending it to me today? I don't want to repeat the stuff you did yesterday.
Okay, well, just so that you can see
Did you read the fax?
Yes.
Well, then why do you want me to read it again?
I just wanted you to see it.
Anyway, to make a long story short, she was She was neighbors with a girlfriend of Anthony. She says he didn't have a prior record. A neighbor of Anthony was annoyed by the cars that came and went late at night, so he was reported to police as conducting suspicious activity. See, it's a neighbor. There's the chigger in the woodpile. That's what it's all about. All you tattletales out there. In actuality, he was a bartender, and after his shifts were over between 3 and 4 in the morning, he'd have his friends or other employees that worked with him over to hang out. Anyone who's worked in the restaurant business knows that's what you do after work: hang out, have some drinks, and if you choose, smoke a little number. He had a concealed weapons license. The original report from police stated he pointed the gun at them, but hours later they retracted that, saying they were not positive if he pointed the gun or not. Uh-huh. As of this morning, meaning yesterday, the only statement given was they're not sure if he pointed the gun, but that there was one lying next to him after he was shot. Uh-huh. His neighbor, not the one that reported him, who lived directly next door, eyewitnessed the whole incident, said he never heard the police, dressed in total black, announce who they were. Directly confronting with the police statement, conflicting, which says they announced their presence many times. After 5 minutes, they entered, and he heard shots. Anthony had a job for 2 years to help a single mother pay for the new house they moved into a few months ago. The police confiscated 2 ounces of pot, some paraphernalia, a handgun, a shotgun, and a BB gun. Leah says, the incident scares me because if this could happen to Anthony, who was considered to be a very honest and sincere young man, it could happen to anyone who enjoys having a smoke with some friends. He never had or dealt large amounts of pot, but now he's dead. I don't understand justification. Leah, you're in America, honey. You better start getting with it. You better understand the pot police. Not to mention the snitches now. This is the thing that they keep encouraging people to do, is snitch on your neighbor. Make up a bunch of crap if you don't like him. Just ask George about his neighbor who died. See what happens?
Yes, that's right.
When you start making trouble for your neighbor, God points his finger down at you and slays you, and that's what's going to happen to neighbors that were making trouble for Anthony. Okay, now poor Anthony's dead because he had 2 ounces of pot. And because he had evidently, allegedly, a malcontent neighbor. Isn't that a nice way to put it?
That's a nice way.
Piece of crap. So anyway, there you go, another dead person. As America has no value on life whatsoever, just when in doubt, take them out, throw them away. Although we do like those fetuses a lot, and man, oh man, those
stem cells, yeah, don't forget.
Stem cells, we're obsessed with them. The fetus huggers better have better aim now, because hanging out of them stem cells is a lot more difficult. What are you most afraid of? That's our poll today. You know something? We got another one for you. The police. There's a good one for you.
Okay.
Police.
You're right.
Police.
Yeah, because it's become a police state for the last several years, not just even with Bush. It's been going on for a long, long time in America. It's a freaking police state. Give some jackass, some redneck a gun and a badge, and bada bing. Hey! 238 votes we got on there so far. Pretty weak. What are you most afraid of? Religious fanatics, 73. George W. Bush, 70. Black folks, 19. Oh, come on. Don't be so racist, although. Big black guys.
What about black police?
Snake, 16. Republicans, 12. Pit bulls, 8. Rats, 8. Lightning and thunder, 7. I'm fearless, 6. Still only 6. Hurricane, 6. Crazy people, 6. Water, 3. Flying, 2. Greg Reed, 1. Oh, I know who made that vote. Bats, 1. The police and spiders we just put on there so far. 10:28 at QAM.
Different marijuana, deliciously different marijuana.
This is your Attorney General and Purveyor of Decency and Sensible Shoes, John Ashcroft. Legalization of marijuana is on the rise around the world, like England and Canada, but those are just some foreigners. We can't let that happen here, the greatest, freest, and most arrogant country in the world. While legalization of marijuana would cause unemployment to rise by dismantling of the DEA task force, it would take food from the mouths of needy politicians. So stick with alcohol, that's fine. And cover up them naked statutes, will you? I have a mother complex, and that bothers me. And get your feet off my nice, clean floor.
This message paid for by Citizens Against Spot in America.
Okay, peak oil is a charade. I just did a Google search like this fact says.
It's a what now? A charade?
It's a charade.
Okay.
Will civilization collapse with the yada 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 when we run out of oil? In the vein of peak oil as a non-event, at any rate, because the facts I just got for the poll, it says peak oil, do a Google search sometime. Signed Stoned and Hialeah, P.S. George is a demigod. How you like that? So it's and George demigod. Or Demi Moore. Demi. So we're not putting that on there.
No.
How about gas prices? We could put that on there, though.
Okay.
And thank you again, Mr. President, for those low gas prices. You butcher, you murderer. You and your buddies, the Saudis, man. At any rate, speaking of now, this story, I caution you, it's from a website. We have a link to it on our website, prisonplanet.com, which is just a little bit radical, but nevertheless.
Tad bit.
Just a tad bit, but, you know, this four-star general, I actually had the story about him and his alleged sexual hanky-panky that they don't want to give us any details about, the reason that he was fired, did it? But four-star general fired for organizing coup against neocons, ? That's the story. We put this on the website. Didn't we put it on there, or did we put it on yet, Josh?
Oh, if you sent it to me, it's up there.
Well, no, but I think I sent it to you this morning.
Yeah, like I said, it's not up there.
Oh, but it will be.
Yes.
The head of Fort Monroe's Training and Doctrine Command, four-star General Kevin P. Burns, was fired Tuesday, apparently for sexual misconduct, according to official sources. Other sources, however, have offered a different explanation for Burns' dismissal, which ties in with the Bush administration's unpopular plan to attack Iran and the staged nuclear attack in the U.S., which would provide the pretext to do so. Sounds like 9/11 to me all over again, doesn't it? According to reporter Greg Szymanski, anonymous military sources said that Burns was the leader of a faction that was preparing to instigate a coup against the neocon hawks in an attempt to prevent further global conflict. Indications are that much like popular opinion amongst the general public, half the military opposed the neocons' agenda and half support it. Further revelations were imparted by journalist Leland Lehrman. Lehrman's army sources, including a former captain in intelligence, became outraged when they learned that the official story behind 9/11 was impossible. They told Lehrman that the imminent Northcom nuclear terror exercise based in Charleston, South Carolina, where a nuclear warhead is smuggled off a ship and detonated, was originally intended to go live, as in the drill would be used to cover as the cover for a real false flag staged attack. This website has relentlessly discussed similar style drills which took place on the morning of 9/11 and on the morning of 7/7 in London. Speculation exists that he had potentially discovered the fact that it was going to go live and he was trying to put a stop to it. Also, speculation indicates that he may be part of a military coup designed to prevent the ridiculous idea of doing nuclear war with Iran. How do you like that, huh? Yeah, well, you know that the neocons aren't done yet. This is only the beginning, like Chicago would say.
Right.
Now, don't you think we ought to take a few calls here today? Because, like Tuesday, it worked out just fine for me. What?
No, it was. It was.
Well, no, we didn't take a whole lot of calls, but I think we probably, because I don't think there are too many other things that need to be on this poll, but you never know. I mean, this is like, the one on Tuesday was closed. This one is open a little crack. Well, I can't say crack, because the crack police would be knocking down the door if I was there, which I'm not, thank goodness, because there's lots of people walking around smoking big fat ones here, and nobody's getting shot, nobody's getting busted, et cetera, and so on. See, I know that may come as a surprise to you, but in Canada, not only are they on the verge of legalizing totally, but also people don't get shot for having 2 ounces of pot. Not. How do you like that?
Yeah.
What a concept. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, Pally.
Listen, I'm going to promote the police on your poll, only because I want to tell you a quick little story. I'm scared to death of police, only because I was over in Tampa for some business. And I was coming across the Skyway, and he had it closed down in one lane late at night. It was like 3 in the morning I was coming back. And this guy was like riding my butt, and I'm doing 70 and 55 as it is. So I tapped my brakes, and next thing you know, this blue light flashes right behind me. And I was like, oh, no. So I get down the bottom of the bridge, I pulled over. I look in my mirrors, I'm rolling down my window. It's a guy in a short pants and a T-shirt. And he walked up to my car, and this is no lie, I swear to my God. He pulls out a gun and sticks in my head and said, you got a problem with me? And I smelled the liquor on his breath. And I said, no, sir, I got no problem with you. You were just on my, I'm trying to explain myself because I was scared to death. And he goes, okay, don't ever let this happen again. And he walks away. So I called the Hillsborough Sheriff's Department the next day, and they told me, oh, forget it ever happened. Don't even bother making any kind of report.
Right.
And second, Neil, what do you think? I know it's a taboo subject with you, but what do you think of Lindros being on our leads?
No, please. Perish the thought.
Oh, I think it'd be great.
After the first 600 concussions, the last thing we need is more damaged goods. After Owen Nolan, we don't need that again. Have a great day, Pally. Don't start with a hockey talk. Oh, my goodness. Eric, of course, always brings Daddy along with him. That's the biggest part of the problem. Josh ain't too crazy about it either. 567-0560, pound 560 in the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. Let's get hockey intensive, Not. Then we got Geldy, let's see, Curtis at 2, Geldy at 4. Marlins on deck 6:30. Horrible thing. I got that story a little later on about that woman that got... I didn't realize how seriously she got injured. I was watching the Arizona telecast was on my package last night of the Marlin game.
Yeah, well, at least they recognized it happening. We had no idea.
Dave Van Boring had no idea?
Nobody had any idea. I don't believe. I mean, we have the TV monitor going right there, too.
Oh, no, they talked about it. They said, oh, it looks really bad. And they said the whole place is silent, which is not a good sign. And they didn't show it, to their credit. They didn't, put the cameras on the chaos that must have been going on over there behind first base up in the stands. But, Sean Green splintered his bat. And part of it flew into the stands, and a woman had her spleen ruptured. But we'll get to that later on. But anyway, the Arizona telecast made a point of that, and at least they knew what was going on. But hey, I don't want to start it on that. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Can I get half the time that last caller had?
Go ahead.
I want to add one thing to the list, and that's I'm really afraid of left-wing doctors, man. They scare me.
Of what?
Left-wing spin doctors, kind of like what's going on the air this morning. Do you realize you have to get a court order before you raid a home? The police just can't go in and raid a house without reason.
Left-wing spin doctors.
Exactly.
So in other words, if we're unhappy that police, with or without a warrant, went to a place because somebody complained about noise or whatever, and blew somebody away with 10 shots, that makes me into it. I beg your pardon?
He's a drug dealer with firearms. Okay.
How do you know? Wait a minute. Because he's got 2 ounces of. Just a minute. Nowhere in any of the stories does it say he's a drug dealer. And somebody that's got 2 ounces of pot is a drug dealer?
No, they just have scales laying around. The average person does that. And bags, right?
Yeah. And so what if he is a drug dealer? That means he ought to be blown away, shot 10 times?
No, we ought to move him into your neighborhood. That's what we ought to do.
I'll guarantee you we got plenty of people here with 2 ounces of pot and nobody's blowing them away, okay?
That was one of the cops.
No, I'm sure of that. Left-wing spin doctor my ass, okay? You fascist, you lunatic, you maniac. No, you can't handle the truth because, if somebody gives you a badge and a gun and right away, bada bing, bada boom, and we had a warrant, yeah? Do you have a warrant to lie also? About announcing yourself at the door, which all the neighbors said they never heard that? Maybe they just whispered it. Please, please. And then they just smashed down the door. I think they've seen too many TV shows.
Right. Speaking of
too many cop shows.
We've seen cops a million times. They don't announce their presence and knock
on the door for 5 minutes. Of course not. They knock down the door and come in, guns blazing.
Right, before you can...
He was a drug dealer. Wow.
Oh, pot. Danger.
Pot, baby. Did they find any, crack?
No.
Did they find, a meth lab?
No.
They found the 2 ounces of pot.
Wow,
he must have been a really dangerous guy. Grow up already, will you please? You are dangerous. You're the kind of idiot we're afraid of, okay, sir? Right-wing jackass, icehole, idiot, fascist, lunatic, murderer. Perfect for Bush. That's why he starts with the left-wing spin doctor crap again, right? Maybe we can get him his own show on MSNBC. Right after Rita Crosby goes off next week. 1042 at 560 WQAM.
You do not belong in here, you damn crackhead. Go smoke your crack, please.
Police got my butt. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. Oh yes, and I had quite a lot. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. But that's alright with me, cause it was sprayed with powder quad.
Oh my God.
I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas while they're smoking all of my pot. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas while they're smoking all of my pot. Police got my butt. my butt. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. They busted me in a parking lot. I want to wish them a Merry Christmas. I want to wish them a Merry Christmas. I want to wish them a Merry Christmas while they're smoking all of my pot.
I bet you police is going to move up that list pretty quick. You know what? Let's see. They got 6 already. It's only been on there a little while. Murderers, butchers. Okay, now you put yourself in the same position.
Sure.
See, if you really knock on the door and announce yourself, then it gives somebody time to, like, flush that whatever pot they got down the toilet.
Sure.
Nobody gets shot. Nobody gets killed. There's no gunplay.
And nobody gets convicted.
But when you come storming in, not in police uniforms, but in that SWAT, those black outfits like that, the all black, what's your first instinct? Like, who the hell are these people and what's going on here? And am I going to get out of this alive?
Not that home invasions ever
no.
happened in Florida.
No. He was a drug dealer. You know something? If it weren't so pathetic and if we didn't have a dead young guy as a result of the story, that would be humorous.
Sure.
You know? He was a drug dealer. He had a scale. What about the scales of justice, you jackass?
Imagine during the Prohibition years, you know, if you had beer and if the same thing was going on.
Unless your name was Kennedy.
Sure.
How about a process server for the poll? Somebody says they're scary. I've never gotten any good news from one of them. Okay, we can put that on there. A process server.
Yeah, maybe we can have those drug dealers move into your neighborhood. How do you like that? Bah! You left-wing spin doctor.
Oh, man.
You're spinning right now. I can hear
I thought it was the right-wingers who were all supposedly so much all for life. Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's life before it, like is really life.
Hear that? That's the spinning.
Like I've told it many, many times before, the right-wingers, all they care about is nebulous life. Once you're born, once you're out of the womb, man, they don't give a crap about you. But if it's the fetus or the stem cell, oh, my goodness, this is a precious life and all this other crap. Unless, of course, it's life, and then that's another story.
Or a pot smoker.
Or a pot smoker, life my ass. That's right. When in doubt, just take him out. He was a drug dealer. He was dangerous. He was evil, an evildoer. Nice job, by the way, in the Bush administration of catching up to Osama Yamama and Mullah Omar and al-Zawahiri and al-Zarqawi and all of these crazy goyim. Nice job. Left-wing spin doctor is my ass, man. You haven't got a... If you had a brain in your ass, you'd be dangerous, okay, pal? Or maybe you once did, but it probably fell out. God. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Happy Thursday.
Back to you.
So I heard that story, made me physically ill. I'm sorry. It's this country and this county are going to hell.
Fascist USA is where it's at.
Yes, that's true. But it's great to hear your voice. Do you have on your poll heights by any chance? I haven't come in and out, like high places.
That's a good one. What's the name for that? I don't know. I shouldn't put you on the spot. I don't know what they call that. Some phobia.
I don't know, but I don't like being high up in the air. I mean, a lot of people are scared of flying because of that, too, but...
Acrophobia?
Acrophobia.
I mean, I like to be high, but not high up, so...
Heights. Okay, we'll put heights on there. In fact, Boca Brown was once, as a child, afraid of horse height. Only he would understand that, because he's an old
well, no, but I'm a dumb blonde. What do you expect?
There you go. Okay.
And by the way, Neil, a few weeks ago I tried to get through to you. You had said Larry's Ice Cream and Plantation closed down.
Oh, a long time ago.
Well, but next time you're around, if you come back to this county ever again, they're in Coral Springs now. They've been there for years.
No, but that's not the same thing. See, Larry's is like a franchise.
Oh, really? Because this place is great. It's Larry's
so
Ice
was
Cream.
the one in Plantation, but unfortunately the guy had a product that was too good, I guess, and he just he took his whole life savings. He drove down here from New York with his family. He took his life savings. He always wanted, for whatever reason, I mean, you know, it's a little strange, but he wanted to open an ice cream shop. He had a great product. I plugged him a lot on the air, and he went, and it's an area with like a lot of traffic in there, but, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, why would anybody in Florida want to eat ice cream?
In their ass, they'd rather go to Carvel. They don't know anything
exactly.
down
There
here.
you go. Well, listen, we like Carvel a lot, though, especially Tom, if he would ever come back. Have a great day.
Especially the drive-thru.
We like everybody.
Thanks.
See ya.
Thanks.
Say goodbye. Obsidian says, have you heard about the radio station in Crawford, Texas? WFOX, a Clear Channel station in Crawford, Texas, is planning an anti-Cindy Sheehan rally on Saturday. Well, let me tell you right now, okay, they're planning on having free food and drinks and have asked soldiers from Fort Hood to come down and support their actions and confront Miss Sheehan. Oh, maybe they can, like, if she has any pot on her, they can shoot her ass too, okay?
Sure.
Troublemaking bitch.
They killed her son.
I saw Joyce, the Joyce and Joycers in their Mother Joycing rally. How do you like that? Isn't that something?
Yeah.
She's got more balls than the administration, I'll tell you that. She's got the big pair. Let's see. An Air Force Reserve colonel may face criminal charges in a vandalism case. This one also, Ken in Naples faxed this in. The officer, Alexis Fecto, is accused of defacing cars at the Denver International Airport. He allegedly blacked out pro-Bush bumper stickers on 10 vehicles, then spray-painted an expletive and the president's name on the vehicle. You go, Alexis. Oh! All right. And what kind of a name is that for a guy? He is Director of Operations for Reserve Forces at the National Security Space Institute in Colorado Springs. Police set up a bait vehicle equipped... Ah, right. We gotcha! Gotcha! Police set up a bait vehicle equipped with a camera that captured an image of the suspect and his car. Police have referred the case to prosecutors who are considering filing criminal charges, or maybe they'll just shoot the guy. You know? Has some nerve defacing President Bush on a bumper sticker, huh? And putting anti-Bush expletive crap. Putting the truth on there. I'm telling you, you may laugh, you may think it's real humorous, real amusing, but 1 year ago, February, about a year and a half ago, all the things, we're not talking ancient history, all the things that we could say, all the bits that we could play, all the sounds that we could make, all the stuff, and now, we're fighting terrorism because we're censoring you. You can't say anything. And that story I read twice the other day about Penny Nance in her pants at the FCC, it's not scary, it's terrifying. If you think that satellite radio is going to be any different, you're dreaming. Maybe for a while it will be. Maybe until after Stern's first show. And then, bada bing, oh, we're going to censor you, we're going to fine you $80 trillion, we're going to throw your ass in jail, we're going to knock your door down at 4 in the morning, blow your crap away, okay, if you don't cut it out. Why? Well, we just say so, that's why. Don't ask questions. And the same with cable. Now, if they start censoring what's on cable, that's the end, man. You've lost it all.
Yep.
And the public is, what's happening with that runaway bride? And what about that chick in Aruba? And what about that fugitive couple? Oh, they got them, by the way.
Yeah. And Jennifer's
nice, upstanding American couple. Here's line 9, WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You probably already touched base on this. I'm sure you have about the new television, the new radio broadcasts of the Miami Dolphins. Now, I mean, you talk about a coma.
Coma-inducing. That's the word. That's exactly the word that everybody's saying. Coma-inducing. Hey, Jimmy.
Listen,
yeah.
Jimmy Cefalo is. I understand this was his first gig, but when you hire someone at a professional level, wouldn't you think you need some type of experience? Now, you have Jimmy Cefalo as the radio guy, Big Head in the next to him, Nat Moore on the sideline. Who do you have, Duper and Clayton on the board ops? Yeah. And Ron Conrad doing the pregame show?
Yeah, it's the jockocracy has completely taken over the Dolphins organization, correct. And it sucks.
But listen, you couldn't pay me by the play to listen to that.
And you know something? This is people all over South Florida are begging to get Mo back. Like him or not.
Listen, Mo's not bad at the radio. He just was a horrible, in the morning.
Right.
But listen, what I'm saying to you is, everything in life you have to have experience for to get somewhere in life.
Broadcasting a professional sports, and listen, this is a guy who never did one down, who never broadcast one down of professional football in his life, and now he's the voice of the Dolphins? Who are they kidding, man?
Yeah, but listen, don't you have to have some type of... You have to be the laughing stock of the league.
Well, it fits right in with the team, man. It fits in with the ambience of the organization, and calm down. That guy's going to have a stroke. Hey, Jimmy!
You fairy.
You're weak. You're lame. And, of course, didn't I predict that? I mean, why do you hire a guy that's... he's never done it before? Oh, well, Dr. Schwartz is here. He's never actually been in an operating room before, much less performed in brain surgery. But he's going to operate on your tumor, and just relax. Have confidence. Right. 10:57. What do you expect in the Bush Leagues, okay? That's what we got. We got it in Washington. We got it in Tallahassee. Bush.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Other stations give you money. Other stations give you cars. But when times are tough, this station gives you what counts. Because this station is going to give you a job. A job in radio. A job at this station. A job as our new morning disc jockey. Morning Drive. That's right. We're going to toss our morning guy out. On his butt. And he doesn't even know it. He's not even listening. We told him to play this promo, and he played it like a moron. A moron. So his loss is your game. Just be listening. And when you hear this sound, be the 10th caller. And come Monday morning, you're on the air.
Winner will assume all current responsibilities of morning drive personality at a substantially reduced salary in addition to responsibilities of all janitorial, clerical, and maintenance staff.
The guy who's on is out. You are in. Keep listening to win.
11:01 at 560 WQM. You know, when I first lived on in Plantation on that strip there, on Sunrise Boulevard.
Right.
I can't think of the name of that complex. But anyway, I had a townhouse there.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about this on the air, and I had a next-door neighbor, and he was a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm. You lived on Drug Row. Crack City.
Is that what it was?
I guess.
No. No, but anyway, the guy next door to me, who was seemed like a very respectable guy, until he started like staggering around all the time. I remember one day seeing him pointing the key to his front door and like aiming and trying to get in there. He couldn't get the key in the door.
Well, that's because he was drunk.
No, he wasn't drunk. He was stoned.
On what?
Something.
Okay.
Whatever it was. No, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't a drinker. He was a druggie. But at any rate, nobody ever came and blew his crap away.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
It's just a matter of
Nobody
time.
came knocking his door down at 3 o'clock in the morning and blew his crap away. And speaking of drug houses, right where I live in the acres out there, within, I don't want to I'm not going to give a specific area, but within a few blocks, there's a notorious drug house. And that's all they do in there. And, of course, the people that live there come and go, and they're like cars parked 3, 4 in the morning. I don't see anybody going in there yet and blowing anybody away. And everybody knows what's going on there. You can drive by that area sometime 4 or 5 in the morning and see some guy like passed out in a car on the side street. But you know, this is America. Just because people are addicted to drugs, how about if people are addicted to Haagen-Dazs banana nut ice cream? That's right. Put them out of their misery. Throw their crap away. Knock the door down at 3 o'clock in the morning. Go in the refrigerator and take away the 5 pints of ice cream.
It's killed thousands.
Yeah, that's right. Left-wing spin doctors. What that had to be one of the classics of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be one of the all-time greats. And Josh is right. That's one of the cops. I hope you're really proud of yourself, okay? Left wing, right wing. You know something? Doesn't make any difference what wing you're talking about. You still got a dead guy. 23-year-old dead guy.
Because he had scales in his apartment. He was a dealer. He had 2 ounces of pot. Let's take him out.
Hope you feel real macho, okay? And I have one thing to say to you.
You fairy.
Right. Coward. Spineless coward with a gun. See, that's one thing about America, and that's one of the reasons that they have this love affair, this obsession with guns, because it makes men macho. It gives them that, like, Hispanic feel, you know. I'm a macho guy. Of course, we know about most of your people, George.
You fairy.
But nevertheless.
So you said.
And speaking of upstanding American families, man, I think that, what was the American, what do they call that picture? Was it American Gothic?
Okay, with the pitchfork guy, the
old guy with a pitchfork and a wife, you know, who looked like Ma Kettle. Looked like Ma and Pa Kettle.
Right.
American Gothic, I think that was called. That used to be the poster. They used to be the poster children for what America's all about. The couple, the fugitive couple, who are captured in Columbus, Ohio, they're the new poster children for what America's become now. A married couple accused in a daring and deadly courthouse shootout in Tennessee are scheduled to appear in an Ohio courtroom today after surrendering to police at a motel. And, of course, we've seen this. They were tipped off by a taxi driver. There he is.
And they were doing some things up in Columbus with a conference. And, you know, I honestly can say I didn't really believe that, but I had been paid for the trip. So when you know, they gave me no cause for suspicion other than, you know, the Amway thing didn't really stick, but there were no outward signs of anybody or any one of them, you know, either one of them do anything that made me feel nervous beyond a normal cab trip. I
didn't realize till later who the passengers were.
That then, but when the trip was completely done and they were getting out to go to their hotel room, she was favoring one side. And I asked her, you know, what happened? She said she got banged around in a car wreck a little bit. So that was, I mean, without hesitating. So, I mean, she pretty much had thought about what she'd say. The luck part is really overwhelming because I honestly, I was just being a cab driver at the time.
How can this guy be a cab driver? He doesn't look like he's from India or Pakistan. Anyway, that's in Columbus.
Cute.
What do you mean cute?
Well, it's funny because it's true.
Oh, I see. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me, like in Dade County, there's a lot of Haitian cab drivers. But here, the cab drivers are, I would say, 95% from the Middle East or India or Pakistan. All of these things. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We got a lot of fine cab drivers, and then some who are, like, incoherent. Police said Jennifer Forsyth Hyatt, 31, and George Hyatt, 34, gave up without a fight last night, after a regional manhunt for the suspected killer of a prison guard on Tuesday in Kingston, Tennessee. Police surrounded the motel after receiving a tip that the couple had arrived there by taxi from this fat, chubby cab driver we just heard from now, from suburban Cincinnati, about 100 miles away. Maybe they're going to go visit the Rimmers in Columbus, you think? Congratulate them on the start of hockey season. We then made a phone call into the room, and we told George and Jennifer, we actually spoke with Jennifer, that we knew they were in there, said U.S. Marshal John Boland. We called the couple's motel room. We knew that there was a possibility they could be armed. We didn't want to harm them, so we asked them to come out. The couple gave up without... And you notice they didn't knock the door down. They didn't blow them away. How do you like that? Even though these are... I mean, low life would be a compliment to these people, but nevertheless, they didn't go charging in there and blow their crap away. How do you like that? The couple gave up without a struggle, and police found weapons at the motel, said Mark Gwynn, director of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Boland said Jennifer Hyatt was pretty seriously injured from a gunshot wound, and a motel guest told the Associated Press Hyatt was limping as she left the room with her hands up. George Hyatt then came out of the room with his shirt pulled over his head. He walked backward toward the stairwell, got on his knees, and was handcuffed. They really didn't show any emotion at all, the motel guest, Robin Penn, told AP. Deputy U.S. Marshal Nikki Ralston told AP that Jennifer Hyatt was taken to Grant Medical Center, where she was treated for a bullet wound to her leg. Both will face first-degree murder charges in the death of prison guard who was transporting George Hyatt from a court appearance in Kingston on Tuesday. How do you like that? So they got him.
Him said to me, whoever he was as a boy of, 17 and a half, he's not now.
She said, oh, there you go. This is this thing they're doing about love behind bars and the people who are like these crazy-ass women who propose marriage to jailbirds.
Uh-huh.
Like the Menendez, I forget which one it is with the bad hairpiece.
Let's say Lyle.
Okay. Or what's the other one, Eric?
Eric, right.
Okay, here you go. Now let's see how that poll is coming, because we got third place. 26 people are most afraid more than anything else of black folks. You got to get over it, man. You got to get over that racial thing. Just because you go to the ATM at 1 o'clock in the morning, there's some big black guy named Ben standing over your shoulder with a real menacing look on his face. That's no reason to be scared, is it?
Yeah.
Well. Oh. What are you most afraid of? 343 votes on the poll. We got a shot at 500 today, Josh.
Oh!
What do you think? Let's push it. Let's give it the big push. Who used to say that? Was that, what a jerk he is. And everybody, kisses his ass. The coach, Schmellyberger. Howard Schmellyberger. He's a real jerk. Push it. Yeah, push it. Yeah, push this. What are you most afraid of? Religious Fanatics 99. George W. Bush 95. Speaking of religious fanatics, a little crossover there, although, I don't believe it. I mean, he's stupid, but I don't buy that part of it. That's just a cover-up.
Yeah.
Black folks 26. That's bad. Snakes 22. Republicans 21. Pit Bulls 11. I'm fearless 10. We got 10 fearless people out there who fear nothing. Lightning and thunder, 10. Crazy people, 9. Rats, 9. The police, 8. That's moving up. Especially police that come knocking your door down at 3 in the morning and want to blow you away. Because you got scale. I got a scale. How do you like that?
Uh-oh.
I got a scale. In fact, I even got a scale here in my bathroom. How do you like that? Gonna come and take me away because I got a scale?
Well, I got sandwich bags. How do you like that?
Oh, no. I got Glad bags, too. I even got Reynolds aluminum wrap.
Uh-oh.
I'm wrapping it. The police 8, Hurricane 6, Water 4, Flying 4, Spiders 3, Greg Reed 3. Somebody I know voted 3 times. And I can't blame him. Heights 2, Gas Prices 2, Bats 1, and Process Service so far out of 347 votes has got the big. Oh! Don't forget we got Geldy today, or no, Curtis at 2. We don't cross over with Geldy. When the hell do we cross over with Geldy? Next Tuesday? What do we got Tuesday? I got next week's schedule, yeah. Mo is back next week, the Mo Man, so I guess I'm not going to have a chance to cross over and congratulate Gildy on the Panther season starting and the great acquisitions they made, Roberts, Newendike, Jelena, and somebody else I forget at the moment. More black people moved into Broward County in 2004 than any other county in the country. while Palm Beach County was the 5th most popular destination for blacks who are relocating. How do you like that?
Wow.
And, of course, one thing, now, this should pacify some people that are all upset about your people who refuse to speak English. One thing, at least, about black people is they can at least, well, I'm getting carried away now. Well, kind of. The number of, what was that? Did you hear that, Josh?
Al Michaels.
Is that what that was? It sounded a little bit like...
In a hotel room in hell.
Yep. Like that. Just a little bit. Actually, what I got to do is redo that, because I like the part in the middle where they go, like they take it up a notch or two, get a little more enthusiastic about.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're doing that. The number of blacks moving to South Florida between July 2003 and July 2004 helped to make Florida the state with the highest number of new black arrivals, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. In other words, the state of any in the country. Since July 2003, almost 18,000 African Americans and blacks of Caribbean descent have made. I wonder what those broadcasters in San Francisco would say about that, about them Caribbeans. Have made their homes in Broward County, the country's leading county for black population growth since 2000. The arrival of new people of color is the result of good weather and a warm climate, access to the beaches. Access to the beaches? Black people go to the beach?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Black people don't go to the beach. They're scared to death of the water. And what? That's not true?
They splash around in the shallows.
And the availability of service industry jobs as well as professional careers. Many Caribbean and Hispanic people also come to live closer to home than New York, the Midwest, and other areas of the country. The success of blacks in South Florida attracts other blacks to the area, said Naomi Parker, a sociologist who lives in Wilton Manors. Wilton Manors.
You fairy.
I came here because of the visibility of successful blacks, and that's what brings other blacks here, she said. Economic opportunity, the chance to own a business, and the family feel also draws blacks. The family feel, or feel the family. Calver Headley relocated his tropical ice cream business to Lauderdale Lakes from Maryland last year. He was drawn by the weather, proximity to Jamaica, man, and the area's established Caribbean community, and is driving a fine automobile. He says, it's a good machine, man. In the restaurants here, I can get anything, and it tastes like home, Headley said. That wasn't the case in Maryland. There were Jamaican restaurants, but they didn't seem to be able to get the right ingredients. They just didn't know their jerk. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Jerk. I don't have that fridge tender thing.
Oh, don't you?
I got my bratwurst, by the way. Oh, man, I love those bratwursts. Wow. The census projections also show the number of whites has declined 5% since 2000 in Broward. The Hispanic population, meanwhile, has outpaced the growth of blacks by about 20,000 in the same period. Hispanic growth in Broward and Palm Beach counties has reached 34% since 2000. That's in Broward and Palm Beach. The number of Asian Americans in Broward is growing at an even faster rate than blacks, but their numbers remain small compared with other groups. Among those driving the increase in Broward are East Asian Indians. I see. I tell you what, I'm not going to go into it. But seriously, I mean, you know, if you want to have a group of people living around you, Chinese people, there's nothing wrong with Chinese folks. And they like to gamble a lot, I'll tell you that. Boy, they like to plunge their guts out. I don't know where that comes from. Man, they just like to plunge their brains out, the Chinese. Especially the little teeny tiny ones. 14 after 11 at 560 WK. In fact, every now and then at Woodbine, I discover I've stepped on a couple of them. Hey, if somebody took your hair out, or if it fell down the sink or down the drain or on the floor, wherever the hell it went, Charles Alfier would like to help you get your hair back.
Meat.
If Scott had a ball and took a hit, then would he act like Cheech and Chong and get the munchies and make brownies filled with hash? And would he share it with Jesus and the saints, those pious potheads? And yeah, pot is great, and yeah, pot is good, and yeah. What if God smokes cannabis, smoking pot like one of us, getting high on the back of the bus, just him and Moses getting stoned on a Greyhound bus to roll, to get some Vatican homegrown, a couple dimebacks to take home. Smoked a big Bob Marley on his throne. No fun in heaven unless you're stoned.
11:20, I'm your left wing spin doctor, and happy Thursday to you.
Hello,
Speaking of the Vatican, got some real nasty stories on these religionists, okay? These hypocrites, these finger pointers. They remind me of Rush Limbaugh, you know what? Finger pointing hypocrites. Don't do as I do, do as I say. The Archdiocese of New York is looking into explosive allegations, reports the New York Daily News, that a top priest who publicly railed against our sex-saturated society had a long-term affair with his married church secretary.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you like that? And it's always the way it is. It's always the ones screaming and yelling about, oh, these perverts, and then you find out that their closet is so full, man, you just open it up, it's like Fibber McGee, man. All the skeletons come rattling out. And maybe an occasional corn snake. Monsignor Eugene Clark allegedly romanced 46-year-old Laura DiFilippo at his Hamptons home at a Long Island motel, according to police and court records. Questioned yesterday by a Daily News reporter at a Montauk restaurant where Clark and DiFilippo have been seen noshing. The 79-year-old rector was saying, oh, and by the way, what kind of word is tchotchke to be used? What show was that on? Was that on Guiding Light they used the word tchotchke? I couldn't believe it. Really? Don't you understand that most people are goyim out there? There's one thing I cannot stand is people that use Yiddish words, like coxachois. Questioned yesterday by a Daily News reporter at a Montauk restaurant where Clark and DiFilippo have been seen noshing, the 79-year-old rector of St. Patrick's Cathedral denied that he and DiFilippo were lovers. Not true, Clark said outside the Surfside Inn. The accusations against Clark were brought by DiFilippo's husband, Philip, who had an investigator tail the duo to a Hamptons motel, videotaping them last month, arriving together, then checking out several hours later. Oh, they were just probably, praying to the Lord. As in, oh, God, that's good. And in signed statements to Eastchester Police in Westchester County, Philip DiFilippo and his 14-year-old daughter and his wife's sister all describe how the teen allegedly found her mother sitting on Clark's lap wearing a satin teddy. Well, that's how you pray to God. Isn't it?
In a satin teddy? It always
Yeah. The girl told police she ran to a room where her mother yelled at me, convincing me that I did not see what I saw and it wasn't what I thought. She told me that he had prostate cancer. Oh, maybe she was just massaging his prostate.
Ooh.
And I couldn't tell anyone what I saw or I'd be in trouble. Oh, my God.
Rectum.
Clark has retained high-powered defense attorney Laura Bravetti, who will call the allegations contrived, and added there's nothing to them. Monsignor Clark is deeply upset and saddened that innocent events have been distorted and sensationalized, causing harm and pubic embarrassment to Mrs. DiFilippo and her children, she said in a statement. The Archdiocese was unaware of the allegations until the Daily News called Monday seeking comment. Joseph Zwilling, a spokesman for the Archdiocese, said, we only learned about this last night. We've been speaking to Monsignor Clark today to get to the bottom of this. Oh, that's not a play on words, is it? Laura DiFilippo's lawyer, Michael Berger, called the allegations baseless, said her husband was making a desperate attempt to coerce her to accept her husband's outrageous demands in their matrimonial action. The developments came as Westchester County Family Court Judge Kathy Davidson granted Philip DiFilippo's request for an order of protection against his wife. In a statement to police, Philip DiFilippo said that when he told his wife that he had a videotape of her at a motel with Clark, she threatened to stab me with a scissor or a knife. Davidson said DiFilippo, well, she probably got her good morals from probably rubbed off from their father. Davidson said DiFilippo will be barred from her Eastchester home until August 22nd, by which time a guardian will have a chance to question the couple's two children. Clark hired DiFilippo straight out of high school and presided over her marriage to Philip in Yonkers 20 years ago. She now earns between $70 and $100 from the Archdiocese, her husband said. It's the perfect cover, DiFilippo's husband told the Daily News. Philip DiFilippo, who filed for divorce last week, citing adultery as one of the grounds for his action, said Clark was a close family friend and frequently invited him to spend summer weekends at his Amagansett, Long Island home. He's a charming, dapper, blue-eyed, suave, quick-witted, fast-talking charmer, he said. Philip DiFilippo became suspicious when his wife began working late into the night at the Madison Avenue Rectory and balked at joining a family vacation at Disney World. He said Clark took her to Lisbon and to the exclusive Caribbean island of St. Bart's. When he eventually confronted his wife, she replied, what do you worry about? He's a priest, an elderly priest. That sounds like a good reason to be worried. Oh, that's another one for our poll, the family priest.
Okay, good one.
Shouldn't that be on there?
No question.
Family priest. Last month, Philip DiFilippo said he had a private aisle tail Clark and his wife to the White Sands Motel in Amagansett. The investigator videotaped the Monsignor going into the orifice. The Daily News viewed the videotape. After a 2-hour brunch on the porch of nearby Surfside Inn, Clark, dressed in a white polo shirt, was seen wheeling a small black suitcase into the White Sands Motel. His secretary, dressed in short white shorts and a matching top with spaghetti straps, followed him inside with an orange tote bag over her shoulder. When they emerged about 5 hours later, the video showed Clark and DeFilippo wearing different outfits. How do you like that? You know, it's hot. You get all sweated up. Right?
Sure.
Ajax pastor charged with child luring. Toronto. The pastor of an Ajax, Ontario church faces 2 sex-related charges after a 12-year-old girl was invited to a sexual rendezvous via an online chat room. Toronto police say an undercover online investigator was monitoring a Yahoo chat room called Teen O Canada Chat in April and portrayed himself as a 12-year-old girl. The officer was approached in the chat room by someone with the online handle Gary near Toronto. During chat room conversation, the suspect spoke of a desire to meet the girl in person for a sexual encounter, again keeping in mind thinking that she's 12 years old. A meeting was arranged at a public place in Toronto. Police arrested a man when he arrived. Kenneth Wayne Symes, 36, of Whitby, Ontario, the lead pastor at Ajax Alliance Church, is charged with luring a child under 14 and inviting to an invitation to sexual touching. Symes used to live in Chatham, Ontario, and Regina, where he was affiliated also with the Alliance Church. He liked Regina.
No.
Don't say it. Police searched the residence and the Ajax Alliance Church, seizing computers and documents from both locations. And I realize I'm getting a little... I got time. The Vatican, in a blow to Catholic Archdiocese of Boston, has concluded that archdiocesan officials erred in claiming the financial assets of closing parishes and must now ask pastors to voluntarily turn over millions of dollars in bank accounts and real estate holdings that the archdiocese had planned to take. The archdiocese said yesterday it's working with the Vatican and with local priests and finance council members to limit the repercussions of the development, and said the Vatican is otherwise supportive of the process of closing pursued by the archdiocese and the individual closing decisions made by Archbishop Sean P. O'Malley. But the Archbishop acknowledged that the decision is unwelcome and poses a complication in O'Malley's effort to restore the troubled archdiocese to financial health after having to pay out millions and millions and millions of dollars on all them lawsuits. I can't imagine why, though. Can you?
No. Why?
All them isolated incidents? It's just some kind of a plot. It's probably just some left-wing spinmeister, you know. 27 after 11 at 560 WQAM. The left-wing spinmeister is in.
White House night, the pine cannon and the failing light. Passionate beat between each other's knees, whistling super tunes they know how to blow. White House night, men of the good and decent moral right. They won't apologize. When there's an R before the name, that means they're gay a better way. Moral guys, they take the homos of the Christian right. They know what's best for you and do what Jesus would do. And if Fanny when left all alone, gay white guys under the pile and in between their thighs. A professional hater and nefarious traitor. That pudgy Taro wants you to spank their buns until they glow. With the bright red glow, feels so good. They're doing everything a Nazi should. While the world is dying, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. White House lights, they get so horny telling all those lies. They'll forever deny those White House nights.
Yeah, like the insurgency is in its waning days, man. It's waning over here. 43 American troops killed this month. It's only the 11th of August. 43 dead American soldiers, and of course, those are the ones that are killed in Iraq, not the ones that they're not putting in the count.
Right. To be
who are seriously injured and sent off to Germany and die in a hospital there. But nevertheless, not that your government would ever lie to you.
No.
Not that things aren't really hunky-dory there. Even your close friend Jessica Simpson was all bent out of shape about the fact that they were lying through their teeth
How do you like
about
that?
what's going on. Even a bubblehead like her, somebody that made her career by being a dumb blonde, by being a total bubblehead, even she can see through it. But not the American media, man. That Wolf Blitzkrieg, if he ain't the Antichrist, I have no idea who is. A vast expanse, not that they would lie to you about the environment either, about global warming. A vast expanse of western Siberia is undergoing an unprecedented thaw that could dramatically increase the rate of global warming, climate scientists warned today. Researchers who recently returned from the region found that an area of permafrost spanning 1 million square kilometers, the size of France and Germany combined, has started to melt for the first time since it formed 11,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age. The area, which covers the entire subarctic region of western Siberia, is the world's largest frozen peat bog, and scientists fear that as it thaws, it will release billions of tons of methane, a greenhouse gas 20 times more potent than carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. It's a scenario climate scientists have feared since first identifying tipping points, delicate thresholds where a slight rise in the Earth's temperature can cause a dramatic change in the environment that itself triggers a far greater increase in global temperatures. The discovery was made by Sergei Kropotkin at Tomsk State University in western Siberia and Judith Marquand at Oxford University, as reported in New Scientist today, The researchers found that what was until recently a barren expanse of frozen peat is turning into a broken landscape of mud and lakes some more than a kilometer across. Dr. Kropotkin told the magazine the situation was an ecological landslide that is probably irreversible and undoubtedly connected to climatic warming. Oh, there's no such thing as climatic warming.
Liberal lies.
Yeah, and more liberal spin doctor crap. He added that the thaw had probably begun in the past 3 or 4 years. Climate scientists yesterday reacted with alarm. They were all saying,
"Oh, my God,"
to the fighting and warned that predictions of future global temperatures would have to be revised upwards. When you start messing, especially for a place like Florida, that within, 5 minutes it's going to be totally underwater. I don't want to get you nervous.
No, I know all about it.
They warned predictions of future global temperatures would have to be revised upwards. When you start messing around with these natural systems, you end up in a situation where it's unstoppable. Unstoppable. There are no brakes you can apply, said David Viner, senior scientist at the Climatic Research Unit at the University of East Anglia, whatever that is. This is a big deal because you can't put the permafrost back once it's gone. The causal effect is human activity. It'll ramp up temperatures even more than our emissions are doing. How do you like that, those evil human emissions? No comment.
No.
When in doubt,
leave it out.
Throw it out. I was going to say toss it out, but then the Brits might be listening. 404 votes. Which are you most afraid of? Religious fanatics, 118. George W. Bush, 103. Black folks, 29. Don't come near me at that ATM, man. Snakes, 24. Republicans, 23. Lightning and thunder, 13. Pit bulls, 13. The police, 12. 12 so far and moving up fast. And I guarantee if we'd have had that on there from the get-go right in the beginning, it would be a lot more than 12.
From the get-go?
Rats, 12. The I'm fearless, say 11 of you. Do we believe them? No. Crazy people, 9. Gas prices, 7. Hurricanes, 7. Flying, 5. Spiders, 4. Water, 4. Greg Reed, 4. Heights, 3. Process server, 3. Bats, 1. And the family priest is 1. I don't have any yet, but it will. There was one that just crossed my mind, but I forgot it. It just escaped. You know, like one of those things that goes in one ear and out the other.
It's
very important.
Something.
Not. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay.
What does it say about the NAB that they have said that Magic is one of the top 5 oldie stations in the country?
Yeah, right.
I am not kidding. NAB.org. They are nominated as one of the top 5 oldie stations
the NAB
in the country.
is a bunch of wusses, okay? They're a bunch of spineless cowards. Every time the FCC says fart, they spread their cheeks. They're a bunch of cowards, the NAB. They should rot.
Dennis Collins is garbage.
Yeah, well, we know that.
And Bob Hamilton feeds him the garbage.
With a spoon. Okay. There's one of those frustrated. He's probably the guy from the doo-wop shop, you know? That got blown out. No, we got some frustrated ex-Magic guys. Probably guys that used to be forced to wash Ricky Tickey's cat. How you doing, Rick Shaw? Oh, speaking of Rich Shaw, I never even got around to playing any of these.
77 WABC.
Oh, man. Back in the day with radio, when we had jingles, when we had personalities, when we had something, a little something, something, before your radio was just a jukebox. This story from Orlando should give you a real good idea of what's going on in America today. Bomb experts, did you see this? I told you about it before the show. You had not seen it.
No.
Well, that's why you were in such a good mood. How's your back, by the way?
Oh, better.
What happened?